because they cook Caparaja and they made him a thwomp. They made him into a thwomp with a trunk. Okay.
Oh my God!
What are you doing?
You're not kidding.
Excuse me. Excuse. Welcome, one and all. You ready for this shit? We're doing.
I'm ready.
G-Max.
First, before we start, I want to apologize for all this, all these plates. There's not a lot of surface area in my apartment, but I'm drying pots and pans.
Those are clean.
And they're drying. Yeah, it's clean. It's drying over there.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I guess that's it. Okay, so we're back with another tier.
Oh!
The first tier we ever did was Pokebirds, and now we're doing Gigantamax.
Gigantamax.
For those who are unaware of our previous video or previous streams, our tier list is a bit different than S, A, B, C, D, E, or A, B, C, D, F.
Correct.
We actually make it a bit fun. So our S tier is Team Sapphire tier, as in the channel. A tier would be Team Leader. B tier, Team Member. Rotten the PC, Trash, and Straight Cheeks all represents a different tier level, but then also gives us an ability to actually explain the reasoning for it. So maybe the difference between A and B is hard. So a Team Leader would be someone on your team who, your Pokemon team, of course, who is just a heavy hitter, one of your top 3 guys who you go to is just like to clean house and really do us a damage. Team Member would be someone obviously on your team and deserves that status, but maybe isn't the strongest. Rotten the PC usually is affiliated with someone who you liked, thought was cool, but then just over time you found someone better, or it didn't like work out with that Pokemon, so they end up sitting in the PC.
In the PC.
Below that is a Pokemon we don't like. Trash. Not a big fan of the sprites, of the design. And Straight Cheeks is what we would call F tier, which is just really bad, like below Trash.
Just cheeks, literal butt cheeks.
So, and Trash has redeeming qualities, but it's not good. Straight Cheeks is like, it's hard. It's just so hard. We can't help you.
No redeeming qualities.
No redeeming qualities. So
well put. Way to run it down, buddy.
I think you did the first one, so I wanted it to be. I don't want to make you have to do all the work all the time. So let's do it. Let's tier.
So starting off, we have Snorlax. And I think this is a little bit of a strange one to start with, but I randomized the order. So the last time we did birds, it was alphabetical order. Snorlax, to me, was a little off-putting because it's just he's been laying there the whole time and just like vegetation started growing on him. But to me, G-Max is supposed to be like more intimidating, and then it's just literally this guy's taking a nap, which is apropos for Snorlax. What are your thoughts on this guy?
This guy, I'm starting to now imagine, because a lot of these Gigantamaxes are going to, or Dynamaxes.
Well, the Dynamax is just when it gets bigger, right? And then the Gigantamax is when it's a new form altogether.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Gigantamax aspect, I think, is going to incorporate some of the love that I do have for the original Pokemon, but I guess I'll try to make an effort to distance myself from that and actually focus on the actual design of the Gigantamax.
I think we should think about, where are we coming from? Like, what's the Pokemon that we're coming from? Does it make sense with that Pokemon? But yeah, I agree. It might be difficult to like totally distance ourselves from just Snorlax is awesome, right? We love Snorlax. But yeah, we're talking about the Gigantamax Snorlax specifically here.
I think, and I also like wonder if the actual sizes of some of them are to scale actually, or how big like certain Gigantamaxes would be compared to other Gigantamaxes. For example, the garbage guy.
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers.
Garbodor.
Garbodor, like he has a cruise ship and a plane in him. Like, are those supposed to just be like, toys and he's big? Like, it's just like representing that he's big, or is it actually a cruise ship?
Is he the size? Will he destroy a city if you Gigantamax? If you Gigantamax him in a gym battle, are you destroying everybody and like lives are at danger? I like to think there's legitimate fear in the stands every time that I G-Max.
I guess it's not. I guess it can't be canon that it's that big because then you can't fit in the stadium.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Right.
So I guess going off
design.
Snorlax. I think Snorlax is cool. I apologize for all the other stuff. I think Snorlax is cool. I do appreciate, like, as soon as I saw the tree, I thought of Torterra, and I really love the, like, bonsai tree on Torterra type deal. I thought vegetation growing on him getting big enough to actually sustain an environment on his chest, like an entire ecosystem. Yeah. And I like to imagine that there'd be smaller Pokemon, like, just living hanging on out.
And that's kind of a Torterra thing, too, right? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, a little Torterra thing, little reminiscent of a lion turtle. Like it's just a living being that is allowing another ecosystem to exist like on it.
Yeah.
So
that is cool.
I thought this was cool. Honestly, I don't know if it's like starting to think tier wise. I don't know if this is S tier. I think that it is cool.
To me, I'm like rotting the PC to team member tier personally because I do think it's cool, but I believe that there's that level of like you G-maxing. Maybe I'm associating it too much with with battling, but like it's supposed to make the Pokemon look more fierce and like it's ready to battle. And here he's just laying on his back and like, which is again, it fits Snorlax's character, but I don't know. To me, I'm very mixed feelings about it for that reason. So I think I'm team member.
It's definitely not daunting, like and instills fear.
It's
it doesn't
very
do that.
Funny though.
But I also like imagining that some of the Gigantamaxes aren't like battle ready and more battle ready. They're more just elevation and power. And I feel like rather than this being a G-Max that is like fight and attack power based, I feel like this is like he's elevated to a god. Like it's like a kind of deity.
He's a lion turtle.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. Okay. I can't see myself going lower than team member. If you can't really go higher than that, I can meet you at team member and feel okay.
I like Snorlax at team member.
Okay, great.
Okay. Next we have Kingler. Alaskan crab, king crab Kingler. See, this is what I'm talking about. I think if we put Snorlax at team member, we're not leaving enough room because when they get fierce and battle ready and just badass,
it's so good.
It's like G-Max at its best. Like I think Kingler is awesome.
This is so cool. Like usually, I think there's another one where a Pokemon gets a beard and something in there, and I was just like,
a beard.
I'm like, I wasn't really into it, but this one is just like. It's like it is reminiscent of Alaskan crabs, right?
Yeah.
Alaskan crab legs is the first thought I had.
Mm-hmm.
It's or like a spider crab, maybe. Like
it's got those like skinny arms like a spider crab, but I do think it's meant to be an Alaskan crab.
It's so cool. Yeah. I think it is. It's so cool. I love Kingler, and whenever I think about it, which is like a horrible thing to think about, I can't help but think about how he would taste. I just can't help but think about how he would taste, and
could feed a village.
And canonically, like if you G-Max and then like you, I know it's horrible, and then you take apart the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Could you feed a village, or like when it died, would it like boom boom boom?
Yeah, I think it would, because right in the games when you KO one, it gets smaller and then you have to return it. Right?
First it explodes, which it always makes me laugh.
Does explode
when it goes down. You're like, oh no, you did good, Bella, and then it combust, and you're like, no. Okay, to the tier list, I think team member at least. I'd probably say team leader status.
Yeah. I honestly, like, when I went back and I said this is G-Maxing at some of its best, I wasn't kidding. I would be comfortable with Sapphire tier, to be honest with Kingler. You know I'm a buff for Kingler, though. I freaking love my crustaceans.
Yeah, Kingler's cool.
I think team leader is great. I think
why don't we leave it at team leader? You know, if we hit some later and we're, like, stinkers, then, like, maybe we'll bump them.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Okay, so Kingler's a team leader. Centiskorch.
Oh wow.
Centiskorch, I know I was just talking about G-maxing at its best, but God, I think Centiskorch G-max is so good. It's just, it takes Centiskorch's like most, unique qualities and just exaggerates them so much, so long. It looks like he just runs for miles, and he's absolutely terrifying. It almost looks like fan art. Like, to me, this reminds me of, like, if a fan was like, well, Game Freak didn't get the G-Max right. This is what it could have looked like. It's, like, that good to me. I really like Centiskorch for G-Max. Again, biased because I had Centiskorch on my team.
Yeah, but he's really cool, honestly. And I thought what was interesting about this Dynamax specifically is that it truly isn't that much different than the original. It's like not that much different than Centiskorch, which just goes to say that like Centiskorch's original design is very cool. But when this, like Centiskorch's, I wouldn't be able to name if it's a specific move or it's just when it uses like special attack moves in its
when it uses like G fire move or whatever.
Yeah, and it creates like a solar panel, or it creates like just a panel. Like yeah. I can imagine just the heat coming off it.
Yeah. You're right. And it's like it goes into that like swiggly format. It's almost like got this like ancient runic type of feel to it.
It's very cool.
I think it's so cool.
On like a quick side note, I don't know if you remember back in the day when I read Toriko.
I do, yes.
And it was like a cooking whatever, but the world was like very, very intense, and the animals in it was a rich story, and there's a specific animal called the world serpent, and it was literally just a snake, and it kind of was just like a giant anaconda, you could imagine it.
Okay.
And there's only one usually in existence at a time, and it's big enough that it can wrap around the planet.
Wow.
And in Toriko, it just happens to be like a massive planet, so it's settled more than it normally would. And like if you ran across like the midsection of this snake, it was said to be good luck. And when I see Centiskorch, I imagine like coming across a midsection in the woods being like, like, good luck for a couple days.
Just because he's so huge.
Yeah, because he's huge. He's
huge. To me, Centiskorch, I want to put him at S tier, and I know I said Kingler and Centiskorch like 2 S tiers. I don't think I'm off to the races too hard because I do think these are some of the best.
I think that Centiskorch is team leader. Like without thinking about other ones and trying to like befuddle me, but you could put him at Sapphire, buddy. Like I'm not.
Well,
he's cool.
I could totally leave him at team leader. I want to agree. Like I think Sapphire tier has to be like our opus, our cream of the crop, best that it gets. So if you don't agree, if you're not as enthusiastic about him being that high, I think another thing, just looking at him, Centiskorch non-G-Max like isn't quite as curved, if that makes sense. Each like panel of his body is kind of a panel, and here they sort of more like the form of them goes into the next one in a way that it's more curved, and it just gives him this more, like you said, every time I look at a G-Max you're thinking like the god form of this Pokemon, and it really exudes that. I'm okay keeping him at team leader. Maybe.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask you quick thing in the middle of the video, which is probably something we maybe should have explained in the beginning, or at least doing this. Would we change things? Like, for example, if we went through this whole thing and nothing was in S tier, like, would we like? No. We wouldn't like try to like bring things to Sapphire, or like we wouldn't like like a curve on a test.
We don't need a nice bell curve. We're saying none of the G-Maxes that they've put out so far are good enough to be S tier.
Oh, wow, that's not true. That's not going to happen. But I just wanted to clarify that.
I think if I were doing this alone right now, and I might rework later, but if I were doing it alone, I think Kingler and Centiskorch might be fringe Sapphire tier for me. I think Centiskorch is argument for like my favorite G-Max, but maybe I'm forgetting some. So let's just keep going for now.
Okay.
Or Beetle G-Max. this is another one that I really love. I'll let you take lead on this one because I did Centiskorch.
Why don't you start, because the stream is catching up.
Oh, you can't see him right now?
Not right now, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Orbeetle. So again, it stays very true to the form of original Orbeetle. And it turns him into a freaking spaceship. And that's so cool. This whole back piece, I love how it's so distinctly different and mechanical and kind of like an arcade or like a sci-fi laser tag type of feel almost, but it still keeps the exact same form of the Pokemon. Like in some other cases, like Sandaconda or Gengar, for example, where we'll get there, they totally just like abandon the form and the actual shape of the Pokemon. But Orbeetle, they keep it to a T and just enhance his features and add this little like sci-fi twist that for me is awesome.
Oh my god, it's a UFO.
Oh, you're that far behind, man.
No, I'm still not good on the stream, but
Oh, damn.
But Orbeetle, oh my god, they turned him into a UFO.
Yeah, man. I think he is absolutely awesome. I feel like we're hitting a lot of my favorites early, but I want to put him at a team leader as well. You're right. They turned him into a UFO. He's so cool. He's got this alien flair, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it is this alien flair to him. I think that I actually had the pre-evolution to Orbeetle for a little bit on my run through, and it just ended up not making it. And then I saw the evolution, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, but it's okay. I didn't need it.
Orbeetle's one of those guys I really hope I get on my Nuzlocke because I think he's so cool.
The UFO thing is really fun, actually.
yeah, I think it's really fun. For me, it's like definitely team member level.
Okay, I think team member is good. I might have. Yeah. I think team member is good.
Were you gonna say you want to put him in Rotten PC or something?
I was thinking about it, but I don't think that's right.
Honestly, I think we're starting really strong here. Like, knowing where we're going, I do think there are some trash ones, and we should think about each one individually. If we even don't have anything in a certain tier, that's totally fine. Everything we've done, and I do want to say, take a moment before we go to the next one, Game Freak's done a really good job designing a lot of these G-Maxing. I think on the whole, I like it more than Mega Evolution. And so it might be a little higher curved than, like it might not be a bell curve, and we shouldn't try to shoot for that. We should just give every single individual Pokemon our honest feelings, right? Okay. Speaking of giving every Pokemon our honest feelings, we have G-Max Gengar next. And honestly, I really, really don't like G-Max Gengar. It looks like the entrance to a haunted house, which is fun. I don't know why, when they did Mega Evolution and now with Gigantamax, they remove his lower body and remove his legs. They did this for Mega Evolution also. He just turns into this weird haunted house thing with a long tongue. I didn't like his Mega Evolution too much, and I really don't like his G-Max. To me, this is like Trash Cheeks territory.
Oh my gosh. I don't think it's that bad, honestly. When it originally came up in the game, I thought that my game glitched, to be honest. And not when his sprite came up, but when I was going up against Alistair, and it's like, he threw the ball, and like at that point you'd see the like boom, 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 and it was like boom, boom, and there was nothing there. And I was like, oh, is he not coming? And then on the last moment it was like boom, and that's when he came up from the ground.
Oh, got you.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I don't think this is bad. Honestly, I don't think it's bad. I think that probably the Mega Evolution was a bit cooler, but I don't think it's horrible because he's just a monstrosity. And I honestly see Gengar, and I always think of the fact that he's been banned from tournaments in the past, and he's been banned from competitive play because his stats are so good.
Yeah.
So I always see Gengar as a world ender. And then in this type of face, like, he doesn't look like a Pokemon. He looks like a cataclysm. Like, he
Yeah.
looks like something that was sent to, like, punish man. And
I mean, you're not wrong about that. We're definitely
so,
yeah.
but it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers you. But so when I think about it, I think of it being like rotten to PC. I don't think it's like superb, but I don't it doesn't really offend me. So kind of somewhere in the middle there.
Okay, and yeah, I think like that's a good point. I think like if your Gmax should be an exaggeration of the Pokemon, and like you said, like world ender. Like, you're only allowed to do this with one of your guys. You went out of your way to do the raid and to find the Pokemon, so it should be that level. And like, yeah, do the raid and get the Gmax Pokemon. So I see what you're saying. He does look like a world ender. I'm okay putting him in route in the PC. If I had a Gengar, I would just never Gmax him.
Well, you know what? Like, looking at online photos too, like the Dynamax of Gengar looks sick. Like, he's huge.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. I just think Gengar is really cool, and to me, like, they could have made those. They could do like a Mega Evolution or Gmax of him where like the spikes on his back are accentuated or something different, but they always just go this weird route with him, and he's honestly always been one of my favorite Pokemon, so it's been a little disappointing, the Mega Evolution for me and Gmax, but at least they're giving him love, and he gets these things because he is a all-time Pokemon. You ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
Hatterene, or Hatterene. 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 Honestly, Hatterene, for me, I had no interest in this Pokemon as a non-Gmax form. I thought it was men's a men's, whatever. And then I saw the Gmax, and I'm like, hang on a second.
Oh,
very
yeah?
cool. Yeah, like, honestly, I really like this Pokemon as Gmax.
Oh, that's cool. This is the fairy, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Looking at it, I'm like, is this the squid one? Like, is this the squid?
No, yeah, it's a hat Pokemon.
Yeah. That the chairman enemy has, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, I think, again, like, just this big towering thing that's like living in this. I know I already said towering, but it looks like it's this, the body of the actual Pokemon living in this like tower almost, where the hat and everything is is made much larger, and I think it's awesome. I really like this Gmax, and I like that they, one thing I don't know if they did with the Mega Evolutions is that they're giving the new Pokemon Gmaxes as well, which I really appreciate, because so many of these new Pokemon are really cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool, like the Pokemon in the like control center of the entire thing. It doesn't really do it for me. I same thing with the fairy. I don't know if it's fairy psychic. I think it is. I didn't love the design of it. Normal and the Gigantamax just seemed like it made sense. But it's not for me. I don't love it, but I don't think it's bad.
Okay.
I don't think it's trash by any means.
I don't think it's trash. Again, I didn't love the design of the original Pokemon. For specifically the Gmax, I think this could be a team member. I think I legitimately would have this on my team if I could Gmax it. So for me, it's a team member. I'm okay meeting you in the middle at Ron the PC, though, because it is a low team member.
Okay.
Awesome. Next one.
Let's do it.
Lapras. Gigantamax Lapras.
Hey, man, let me tell you something about Gigantamax Lapras. I always felt like as soon as I saw the Pokemon, I was like, oh my god, there's a Perish song floating around it at all times.
That's really cool.
And I don't know if it is because it doesn't like it. The lines that the ice is on, it looked to me like a measure.
Yeah, no, I definitely see it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 lines, so it's a staff.
Staff, I apologize. Staff. And I guess like the ice on it like might be not be notes, and it might just be, but like I just imagine that like around this beast is a Perish song.
And I just Googled it. Lapras can learn Perish song, which makes it a little more canon.
Yeah, that's how I think it was probably one of the first Pokemon I ever knew had Perish. So that's probably what I learned about Perish song.
Oh, cool.
So I think it's awesome. Honestly, it's not that different. It just seems like a bigger Lapras, and I am for it. I love Lapras.
Okay, interesting. For me, I think you're right. It's not that different. And I did talk about how Gengar maybe was too different, or, different but not in a direction that I loved. I think the level of, and Centiskorch also isn't that different. For whatever reason, sometimes I think with these G-Maxes, some of them, they just make them, like, fatter. Like to the point where they look like an overweight version. And we'll get to a few others where that's even more obvious, but I think for Lapras, it literally looks like an overweight version of Lapras, which I'm not crazy about. But I like the towering head over everything. This would definitely be a team member for me.
I'm happy with that. I would have probably put it as a team leader because I'm just a big Lapras fan.
Right. And I want to try to be like, don't think about the original Pokemon,
Yeah, I just love the design, and because it's not too different, it's just kind of like big Lapras, and I'm just for it. But you know what's interesting is there's something going on with Lapras's shell. Like there's something.
It's got those like rings, and then it's like a volcano.
There's things in it too, like moving around the circles inside. Yeah. It's weird. But I'm okay with
Hey man, if you want to give me that pitch, we're here to have a debate. We're not here to always agree right away.
I guess
if you want to give me a pitch why Lapras is a Sapphire or team leader, lay it on me.
I personally think Lapras is team leader potential because, like, straight up dinosaur. It is just cool.
Yeah.
It looks really sick, perfect to transport. A like G-Max one would make transporting even easier. Could be actual. I don't even know how you transport like a red spot if that's needed. But imagine it could retain its Gigantamax. Boom, we have like freighters now.
We got a cruise ship. Yeah, like that's cool. Just big.
We have
Lapras.
A freighter, and now we have like no pollution because we're using Gigantamax Laprases. Like if that is actual a Perish song like around it, that means like all attack, like even like its underside probably isn't super strong, like it looks pretty vulnerable. Perish song is going on around it at all times. Anything that goes on it, like if Lapras, maybe that's what the thing on the back is. Maybe it's some type of like player, like not a record player, but maybe it's like the rocks moving within it is creating kind of like your like finger dipped on water going around the edge of the glass.
Interesting.
And that's like creating a type of depth, like
song.
Perish song, and like running into it, like you hear it, it's over.
That's cool. Honestly, like the narrative you give it with this like specific
with the
move.
narrative.
No, that's cool. And I'm not going to look at this guy and think that anymore. And there is a level of, hey, Lapras is an awesome Pokemon. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, And he, Lapras is so cool. And I think just adding every addition they did to it, they didn't do many additions other than it just looking a little overweight in like body size. Every other addition, the shell and the music staff specifically, are very cool. So I'm okay going to team leader.
Okay.
Well done.
Touche.
All right. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Machamp. I have been looking forward to talking with you about Gigantamax Machamp.
We actually, what's interesting is we'll hold off in between, like with these releases, and we didn't see all the Gigantamaxes in the original game. So this is actually, we're seeing a lot of them for the first time. So we held off from talking about it so that we can actually have our first discussion here. So go on, dude.
I want to know what your opinion is of Gigantamax Machamp.
My first thought, the first thing I think about is the magma with the hands. And
Okay.
I think that that's cool.
Okay.
Because I hear your hesitance, and I already know you're not a big fan.
I really don't like him. Like,
I know.
Like, I think Machamp is cool, but it's so easy. Like, hear me out. It's so easy, and maybe this is just me, like, sticking to one thing and...
You wanted to have 6 arms?
6 arms! Like, it's just the progression. It just makes sense. Give him 6 arms. And, like, for that reason, it, like, makes me upset. And I look at the magma just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's not like he adds this fire move stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just throw this orange flare. It's pretty much Machamp, and then they're like, what do we do? Give him orange veins and hands. And like the one like creative piece that I actually like is every Gigantamax has this like rotating clouds, and for Machamp it makes total sense that that's part of his like championship belt. So that's cool. It's just so easy. Give him 6 arms. And I from a design perspective, I could understand 6 arms on this bipedal like crazy, marvel of nature would probably be tough to like make look normal or like cool. But I trust that they have some of the best designers and artists in the world working over there designing these Pokemon, and you could make a 6-armed Machamp. It's the natural progression. Maybe I'm hung up on that, but I look at him and I'm like, this is trash.
Do you want to call M?
We can, yeah, because Machamp is like M's favorite Pokemon.
It's just M's favorite Pokemon, and we should have the resident professional.
Hello?
Hi.
What's up?
I'm currently recording an
Hi.
episode. I'm tiering Pokemon with Steven right now, and you're live.
Oh, hi.
You're on
This is
speaker.
Bub, probably?
No, just Steve and me. But
Cool.
we're gonna put this video on YouTube and stuff. And I was curious if you could help
And
us
then
out.
we're
Do you have
famous?
3 minutes?
Cool. Yeah, I'm at work, but it's fine.
Can you pull up on your phone Gigantamax Machamp and just tell us how you feel? We wanted to get the pros' opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Hang on one sec.
Dude, I love how she's at work right now.
Yeah,
and she answers the phone, and then also they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" She's like, "I'm looking up a Pokemon. Get out of my face."
And she's like, what, this is Machamp related? Oh, yeah, give me a second.
Okay, honestly, not a fan.
Yeah, neither is Steve.
I hate him.
Why?
I don't like that he has like pecs and like a 6-pack, which I know is like not far off from how he's animated, but like he's like I don't like when Pokemon are like almost like human and almost like sexual.
Okay.
And it feels like someone could look at Machamp and be like, oh, I want to fuck that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. And
He also just looks dumb.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the hands?
Let me double check. Hang on.
Oh, it's okay. You don't have to pull it back up if you don't want to.
Let me open up that cheeks tier.
They look very poorly animated. They're just like little like nubs.
Hell yeah.
Do you
It's a similar energy to Cinderace in terms of how I feel about it.
on a rank from S tier being the best, and then A, B, C, D, F? What would you give him?
I'll give him a C.
Rotten the PC. Okay.
I don't know if
It's
she
like,
fully
yeah,
understands.
Well, in terms of strictly his Gigantamax form.
Strictly the Gigantamax form.
Exactly.
Correct.
Okay, and then I give him a D.
Oh, okay.
I'd have him a champ. I would just never.
And the
I
D
would just never
form for
Gigantamax
us
him.
is trash. Like that, like it's Sapphire,
Yeah,
team leader,
he's kind of trash.
team member, rotten the PC, trash, then straight cheeks is the worst.
No, he's a D. He's trash.
Okay. You know what? I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Thank you so much.
Of course, have fun.
All right, bye.
Oh, I'm glad that's settled.
Honestly, I didn't look at him and be like, he's over sexualized. But you know what? I appreciated a third set of eyes.
Yeah, not a thought I had either. I just can't get over the fact that they kept him at 4 arms. But
It's still so the arm guy.
you
the
still
ambivalent
on
person.
that?
I'm totally fine with trash.
Yeah, I got him at trash.
Okay.
Next, Corviknight. Why don't you start me off on Corviknight? Unless you have to pull up a picture.
Like this is one where when it like Gigantamaxed, I probably didn't know.
Because it's just so much like Corviknight.
It's so much like Corviknight. And it's cool. It looks like Corviknight, like, if there was lore behind it, it was like on the full moon. This is what a Corviknight looks like.
You always look deeper for that lore.
Look for the lore.
Love. But, for me...
what are these things? Like,
so that was my thought, was like, these are crystals? What's going
feathers?
on? They're, I believe... actual feathers that turn into birds themselves. If you look, they're the shapes of birds,
and you can it can send them.
That's what I'm picturing, is he could send these things. I think honestly, to be honest, Corviknight was S tier in birds, which was our last video, and if you haven't watched it yet, go check it out.
Nice plug.
And one thing that I didn't love about Corviknight was that he was pretty much a monocolor. And I think red is a, awesome secondary color for Corviknight, and it really does a good job at adding some depth to the Pokemon. And I like how the little birds that he has floating around him are red as well. I'm not saying this G-Max Corviknight is S tier, but pretty cool, and all the talons are like, which I think his normal talons are like this too, but they're like knives now, and even like his legs are a lighter shade of gray. There's just way more contrast on him, which I do appreciate.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool. I love Corviknight too, but this is cool. I like the outline in red too. I'm a big fan of that. Of that, just like it's glowing. It's very intimidating. The ability to control the feathers is each thing really cool. I'm into that if that's the case.
Let's just make it the case like our Lapras cruise ship was.
Absolutely.
Where do you feel Corviknight is going?
Right now, team member at least.
I was going to say team member as well. Nothing crazy innovative, nothing that makes me like, I need it right now. But it's cool, and I would definitely...
I'm really for team member.
Like, to me, when you get into Trash Cheeks territory, which is why I wanted to put Gengar Trash Cheeks, that's when you're like, if this were on my team, I wouldn't even want to G-Max it. Like, I would rather have the big, the just normal version. And Corviknight, I'm like, oh, if I had G-Max Corviknight, I would definitely... G-Max it. That's awesome. Next one. Or do you have anything else you want to say on Corviknight?
No.
Butterfree.
Wow, Butterfree has a Gigantamax?
Hell yeah, man.
Wow, it's really cool.
Dude, Sapphire tier.
Really?
No, I'm playing, but I love, from my heart, just... I'm a huge fan of the bug type, and Butterfree particularly is so special. And I love, love, love that they give Butterfree this appreciation to have a G-Max form.
It's got some Mothra vibes. It's really pretty, actually.
And its body is a flower. And it's got these its wings and are very colorful, and then these floating stones around the wings as well. Really well done. Honestly, I want to put it team leader, team member. They took Butterfree's most accentuated thing, obviously the wings, made them just absolutely massive and turned his body into this kind of flower thing. Again, they did make him fat. They literally made the body like a ball, which I don't understand that theme with the G-Maxes, but really cool.
I'm fine with team leader, honestly. Really cool. Love it.
Sick, man.
Just like the wings are really pretty. It's
Dude,
really nice.
I know.
Dude, look at all these like old gen guys.
You're right. Right up there with Centiskorch and Kingler, and then Centiskorch is the only non-G Gen 1.
Lapras is Kanto too, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep rolling. I'm feeling it.
We got G-Max, a.k.a. Fat Charizard. Not a fan of this one.
You know what's funny is I'm not a big fan, but you got a good photo.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe I have to do some Google searching to see if this is like a deviant art, because to be honest, I couldn't find a good high-res photo of G-Max Charizard. I got a good photo, and I don't want that to take away from how bad he is. He's got this pot belly. He turns into King K. Rool, man, and I'm not about it. I think his Mega, like, especially if you compare it to what they did with Charizard Mega Evos, the Mega Evos were way better than this guy, in my opinion.
I believe that I really do feel like the Mega Evolution is cooler.
Yeah. This is my prime example of, they gave him these fire shoulder pads and just like more fire and awkward fire coming out of his mouth. But they just made him fatter.
I think that my least favorite, like, I know that you keep leaning on the fat thing, but I think like to scale, like they're just big, like it's big, and I don't see it as fat, but you know, your thoughts are valid, and I think that the thing that bothers me the most is the wings. Like, I don't like the fire wings. I don't. Right. I think one of the coolest parts of Charizard is his wings. So now it just is like, it's fire. I think that my like trying to think positively, I think that the lighter shade of orange is a little fun. Like, is it lighter or darker? Maybe it's the same. I like the orange because orange is one of my favorite colors.
His head is dark, definitely a darker orange, right? So that might accent, whether it's the same hue of original Charizard or not, it makes that pop.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that I think is cool is the fact that like he's like constantly exuding some type of fire breath, and it's like consistently coming out of his mouth, and the heat's rising. But I'm not a big fan of this one. Can we see the tier list?
Yeah, here it is. We have Machamp in trash. To me, like, I would not, especially because Charizard is sacred among Pokemon fans, I wouldn't feel bad putting him in straight cheeks. And I want that heat. Oh my gosh. I want that heat. So let me know what you think.
You would you honestly think this one is straight cheeks?
Dude, yeah, like, I really don't like him. I just think you're right. Like, one of the coolest things, they could have given him these massive freaking, you know, like Daenerys's dragon flying over the city, the like wings that just encompass, like, block out the sun, and they turn it into these like puffs of fire. Okay, you know what? Redeeming quality is, I think, the shade turn and his face getting darker. I think that's like the redeeming quality. It makes him more menacing, and that's cool. But I would just, if I have a Charizard, I'm like, I don't want
Steve,
this.
I'm not even like the people, and I think that is like
that's
controversial.
Where I'm at, man. I really don't like it, and maybe I loved his Mega Evolutions, but I'm just like,
his Mega Evolution's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think like maybe I'm thinking of that. Maybe I'm just thinking of regular Charizard, but Charizard's sacred, man. And if you're gonna give him a next step, especially this was the champion's Pokemon. This was like the crown jewel of the G-Maxes, and it was very disappointing for me.
Yeah, I was going to say Rob in the PC.
Maybe I'm overly critical of it, but I think given the like spotlight they put it on, they just missed the mark, and it's Charizard. It's really important. So that's why I'm like, maybe, if it were any old Pokemon, I'd be like rotting the PC, and maybe that's biased, but I think it's trash.
I was gonna say rot in the PC, but you feel pretty strong, so maybe you should pull him down to trash.
Charizard, get in the bin. Not Charizard. G-Max Charizard. Get in the bin. You're
Wow.
trash.
This is a big deal. This is like people find us.
Hey, I hope people find us. Because we have no views. All right. We got Sandaconda.
Hey man, this is cool.
Tornado Anaconda.
A sandstorm tornado, like a sand gust.
Yeah.
I think this is like honestly awesome. I really think that like I can see the snake coiling up and like growing and its actual effect. I can't think of the actual name of the effect that like, hippocampus. Oh no, it's not hippocampus.
Sandstorm.
Is that literally just the effect?
No, I know what you mean though. Like Hippo Down has it where you
Hippo
can,
down. Thank you.
where you just being on the field creates a sandstorm.
Yeah, like it has just like pores of sand and it just gets caught up in the wind. Like, and I love that. And I think that I hope that the snake has that ability as well. So it turns into this like spiraling thing and it's actually just has that sand in it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like picking up what's around it. I think this one's like pretty fun. I actually am not a big fan of the big coil of it when it's on the ground.
I'm not a fan of the original Pokemon too much either.
I feel bad for it. Like, honestly,
it
a little
looks
bit.
like it might be in pain for sure.
Yeah, it's like derpy. But now that top half is now a part of the storm and it's swirling, like I think it's cool. I think that this is like really like lowest rot in the PC.
Oh yeah, I was thinking definitely on the team because for me, like I'm thinking about where we're coming from. And you talk about if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But here they're taking a Pokemon that neither of us liked and making it awesome. And you're right, thematically it's brilliant because it's a sandstorm and now it's a tornado. So I think like if you think about everything you could have done with Sandaconda, this is like the best it could have been in my like. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Like I was gonna say, for that reason, because of like where you're coming from and then where you're going, I would put it like team leader.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I think thematically, like I love when they take the theme of a Pokemon and like the real essence of the Pokemon and they exaggerate that.
Yeah, but are we judging how much better it is than it's worse? Like, is it going up a level because of its previous evolution being so bad? I think that this current one is solid. It's like a team member. I wouldn't put it a team leader.
That's a good point. I think, yeah, I want to stick to judging the G-Max, but I think part of judging the G-Max is where are you coming from? Like, if they're like, oh, we have G-Max, this is G-Max Luxray, and all of a sudden, it's a green zebra. To me, it could be the most badass green zebra that Pokemon has ever designed. I would just be like, but that's not Luxray, right? You know what I mean? Like, this makes perfect sense with Sandaconda. So that's why I think you have to consider where you're coming from a little bit.
Hey, you know what, man? That's good enough for me. You can put him on team leader if you want.
Hey,
that was good. It's cool.
Yeah, it is. And
add the lore.
Hey, the lore. He's a green zebra. Anyway, next. Duraludon. This is another like cheeks trash level guy because I'm just like, hey, you're a skyscraper. You look like you're in so much pain.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's cool, but I don't love it. Like when I went up against it in the game, I was just like, oh, it's big. But then I wouldn't want it.
I wouldn't want it.
Maybe trash.
Okay, I'll give the skyscraper thing innovative. They were trying something different.
It's cool. It's accentuating its neck.
Yeah.
It's like, right. Neck.
Right. He had a neck. Pokemon just like
right.
They do this inanimate object thing sometimes that either is really cool or just trash or cheeks. I want to put him in cheeks, to be honest.
Wow. I'd say trash. I mean, I don't think it's like the skyscraper thing is all right. Like, but I mean,
that's just not like, it's not a redeeming, like his weird hands. None of it's redeeming to me. It's just a skyscraper.
Yeah.
Like they literally could have taken whatever like a main city is in like any game, like, you know, fan art for Jubilife City, just a skyscraper in the city, or like the big city in Unova, and then like plopped it on the body of this guy, and that's what you get. No, there's no kid out there that's gonna get this Pokemon and be like, oh, I got the G-Max, let's do it. It's a building. Like,
no, I bet there are fans out there, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. I don't think there's no redeemable qualities, dude. I can't say that.
To me, yeah, I don't like it. I want to put it in cheeks. I'll go to trash for you.
You know, if it is in trash, then I think Charizard should rot in the PC. And if you do not think Charizard should go higher than trash, then this thing needs to go in straight cheeks.
Hey, then let's put it in straight cheeks.
All right.
Let's open up our cheeks a little bit and make what goes in straight cheeks a little bit, like, let's just widen the range of our cheeks and make the straight cheeks barrier a little bit larger.
Next guy.
Because we can't just have like only the absolute worst be straight cheeks.
I mean, we could.
We could,
That's
but then just
Hero was.
Yeah. No, you're right. But it's like, to me, I think we have to use all of our tiers, like, at least 20, 20, 20, 20, or, like, I don't know. We can have a discussion about this. I love that this is in straight cheeks. I think it's cheeks.
I love this one.
All creamy. To me, you go first.
Reminds me of a specific arc in One Piece. Sorry for all the anime references, but
I'm sure there are people who will appreciate it.
Like a whole cake island feel. That it's actually kind of like a hill. It's a tower, but it's all cake. And I also kind of like that. Like, I think All Creamy is a cute Pokemon. And I think it's okay. I think that or All Creamy is okay. I think the Sunday one is better than All Creamy. If that's am I saying that right?
Yeah, Vanillite into whatever the next one is.
Yeah, Vanillite's all right. It's cute a little, but then I think the next one's cute, like the Sunday and the different flavors you can get. And I love that this one just kind of like comes up like a cake. And I also like to imagine it's kind of like All Creamy's dress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
definitely.
it's like the
That's
topping
how I
on a
imagined
cake.
it too.
Yeah. I think this one is cool. Honestly, like one of the Gigamaxes that was advertised, I think, closer to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is still held up. I love it. I also like that it has different decorations on each layer of the cake, which might be a nitpicky thing, but I think it's cool.
No, I think that's a great detail to appreciate. I also think this is an example of, to me, them being like, hey, let's design a Pokemon specifically for Gmax. And they did an awesome job with it. If I had this Pokemon, I would need the Gmax version.
I agree.
It's so good. I want to... Maybe I'm getting crazy, but I definitely think team member, team leader area.
I think it's team leader.
Okay, cool. I was going to say team leader as well.
At least.
Yeah. You wanted
this might be our first Sapphire.
Really? See,
it's just all across the board solid.
You could definitely convince me why it's Sapphire.
I don't think I'd ever have the Pokemon, which is funny, but like I can't find anything that's bad about this Gigantamax, and I think that says something. Like there's nothing about this Gigamax is like negative to me. I think it is 100% positive. I think All Creamy is a cool Pokemon. This is a Gigamax, one of the few ones that seems to just make clear sense.
Absolute sense. It's a perfect progression of All Creamy. If it were Machamp, this would be the 6-arm version. Let's give it Sapphire tier.
Okay. Wow. That's funny too, because like I wouldn't get this Pokemon, but I think that the Gigamax is just perfect.
Yeah, to be honest, I do of our list, I like Centiskorch and Kingler more than it. But you're definitely right in terms of like progression, like thinking of where we're coming from. You're right. It is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Pikachu.
Oh God. Okay, let me start here because I know you don't like Pikachu.
I might surprise you, but go ahead.
Oh, really? I hope you do. At first I was like, I don't really get it. I don't get the hype. Like, I don't really love the tail. Like, maybe it's hot, like the way a hot wire will glow, but it's with electric.
Okay.
And it's like become its own type of like lightning rod for himself. I also, you know what? Like, I didn't love his body change because it just seemed like someone dropped something on his head.
Seemed like he got fatter.
It seemed like he got fatter, but it did remind me of that one like old Pokemon card,
Well,
and I bet there are multiple that picture him that way, but there's one in my head that I imagine just like a plump Pikachu.
Well, I think that's the thing is over the years, Pikachu got thinner. And this, to me, is a direct homage to, like, the original Pikachu. And that's why I was originally, like, I really don't like this. They're literally just making him fat and, like, putting on a concept drawing of his tail from 1999. But no, I think they're trying to do an homage to the original Pikachu. And it's cute. Gmaxes, to me, I want my Gmaxes to be fierce, and I want a Gigamax when I'm facing you in battle and you think like, oh my god, I'm screwed. And if I do that with this Pikachu, you're not. You're going to want to hug it. But
it's cute.
I appreciate that, at least to me, you're right. It's a harken back to the 1990s Pikachu, which I can appreciate. I still don't love it.
I don't like its tail. Really bothers me, to be honest. And maybe if there was more of a I don't know if contrast is the right word, but at least some type of like, I know the hair term is like an ombre, but like,
okay.
As it like getting like maybe if it started darker and it was more normal near the beginning, and then like near the tip was like hot and like supercharged like the way it is there, then it would be cooler to me. But it bothers me that the whole thing is just white, and I know that's a small detail, but I don't.
It's not. It's like Pikachu's tail. I don't think we should cut it short. And they're literally like, if you look at this picture right now, you see Pikachu's body, and then it looks like someone drew in the background, like on the wall behind Pikachu, the tail, right? It has no dimension. It looks completely disjoint. It's just like two-dimensional. It's literally, two-dimensional drawing, which is maybe risky and like could be cool, but to me, I really don't like it. I want to say it's trash.
I want to say it's trash.
Okay.
Great.
Awesome.
Is Eevee next? I hope Eevee's
Yes,
next.
Eevee is. I did think this through a little bit.
Okay.
Eevee.
I wonder if I'll like Eevee. I haven't seen Eevee in a while.
I think the redeeming quality... So, let's remember, cheeks means you have no redeeming qualities. Everything that I don't like about Pikachu, other than the tail thing, I also don't like about Eevee. Eevee doesn't have the luxury of being fat in the 90s, and now we can, like, harken back to the times of when Eevee was fat and appreciate that. This is just, like... I guess Eevee's not fat. She's just got this big fluff, which is cute. But I want my Gmax to be fierce. And this could have gone to Umbreon and Espeon, and I would be all about it. Or this could have gone to the 3 evolutions. I get it that they were maybe trying to promote Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. I owned Let's Go Eevee. I love Let's Go Eevee. I enjoyed Let's Go Eevee. Let's not say I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed Let's Go Eevee, and I was thrilled to be playing Pokemon on the Switch. To me, Pikachu had the redeeming quality of this is a harken back to the 90s. Eevee doesn't have that, and I wouldn't lose sleep putting this in straight cheeks.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say trash, just because Eevee's cute.
Eevee's cute. You're not wrong.
and the fluff is like, it's big. It's straight cheeks. Yeah, that's fine. It's just
my man. Sorry.
It's just I love Eevee. Like Eevee's
I love
a cool
Eevee too.
Pokemon. It's just not a cool Gigantamax.
Eevee's a very cool Pokemon. I love Eevee. Let's separate ourselves now and think
Yeah, how about the
this
smoke being
Gigantamax.
around one ear though?
Yeah, what does that mean? You could have what like literally. If Eevee tilts her head to the other side all of a sudden, the smoke is like what's going to happen to the smoke?
Dude, I feel a little bit dirty.
You said the words.
But it's not.
Next Pokemon.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna let you think it through.
I'd probably say trash for Eevee, just because like the puff is bigger. I honestly
Literally, that's it.
I don't feel much different between this one and Pikachu. Like I'd feel weird if they weren't in the same tier because I think that they're similar.
I agree they're similar. My rationale between not saying Pikachu is also straight cheeks is the redeeming quality of it's a harken back to Pikachu's roots.
But it's got a cute fluff now.
Yeah. It literally, that's it. I mean, you're right. So here's what they did, right? They took Eevee's design, right? They had an Eevee on their screen, and they were like, "What do we do?"
Yeah, all right. You can make
its fluff a little bigger.
All right.
And that's it. It's lazy. Like maybe
it's not for us.
It's not for us. You're right. I don't want my Gmax to be the cute Pokemon. I love a cute Pokemon on my team. Cherubi is I love Cherubi, but this isn't the place. And if you do it, change more than just the fluff. Garbodor.
Yeah, it might be trash, but
we'll go back.
Garbodor's cool. I guess Garbodor can't be like an actual cruise ship in the thing because look, it's like building blocks in the back, and it's a wind-up cruise ship.
It's a wind-up cruise ship, and the airplane. It's a bunch of child's toys.
Yeah, it's a toy. Which is creepy, but
I honestly don't know why they did that, because I loved the idea of it has a full-size cruise ship on it and an airplane and a building, but now are they toys?
Yeah, I guess it's just big toys now. No, but
like
you know what I thought
toys that
about
it was
this?
eating, or the toys that were thrown into the garbage grew with Garbodor.
Yeah, I guess because Garbodor grew with Garbodor. Oh my God, is the fish in the bottom right literally a Magikarp?
Oh, you think that's just a dead?
Look at its tail.
Dead Magikarp? Hey.
Oh, wow.
Sapphire tier, you know?
I think it's cool. Like the way I imagine Garbodor normally is like literally just being like anthropomorphized trash.
Yeah.
And this made me think of like the garbage dump getting Gigantamaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Like Garbodor like sucks in like the trash and the heaps and grows into like a massive mound, just compiling power. I don't love it. I don't think it's bad horribly. I'd say probably rotten the PC.
I 100% agree with you.
We're on it today.
Hell yeah, man. Long Meowth.
Oh God, I really don't like Long Meowth. I think Long Meowth is straight cheeks.
Me too.
I really do. Someone made a point that like they were trying to mimic. I don't know if you've ever held a cat.
Yeah, of course.
But if you're like supporting a cat from
they get long
behind its arms and they stretch out.
If that's what they were going for, that's such a strange direction.
It's straight cheeks. I really don't like it.
Did you hear the custom meow that they gave it?
Oh no.
It has a new, and you know how I found out about this is after you beat the game, in the credits, literally there is like the list of voice actors, and there's a name, and it's like Gigantamax Meowth Cry. There are literally like 2 voice actors who do everything, and then Gigantamax Meowth Cry. And I googled it, and it's like meow meow meow. They hired someone to do that.
So,
and for that reason, and because it's cheeks, But including that reason, first of all, Custom Cry would have been cool. But yeah, I think it's straight cheeks.
I'm literally having a brain fart. It's Meowth. Oh my god.
It's Meowth,
I'm like,
buddy.
who are we talking about?
Why are you Googling that?
Yeah, I want people to hear it. Meow, meow, meow.
They hired someone. Someone
Hey,
got
dude,
paid money
honestly,
just to do that.
Just bump me to trash.
Are you serious?
Nah, it's cheeks.
Cheeks.
It's not good.
Oh.
Meow, meow, meow. I mean, maybe trash. Someone could convince me,
Dude.
but not you.
Okay, there's going to be a stark... Yeah, you're right, not me. There's going to be a contrast that you see that will confirm that this is trash.
Yo,
Look here.
honestly,
I know you saw it.
I did see it.
Dude, colossal.
S tier.
I agree. I'm talking about... Go ahead.
It is so good. Like when I saw the coal thing in the caves in Shield, I was like, oh, I would really like this. I usually do like having a rock guy. And then later when I found out it was actually rock fire, I was like, oh man, I really messed up. Like that's so cool. This is one of my regret Pokemon.
Yeah.
Is that like I really regret not having this on the team, but I felt bad about getting rid of other people. And this Dynamax reminds me of the Earth Titan from Hercules. And it is amazing. It is so cool.
I think it's so well done. Dude, I look at this thing and I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally fighting Mount Doom right now.
It's so good. Sapphire for sure.
Like you're just throwing the ring into its mouth and it's gonna destroy it. Yeah, I love it. I truly, really like.
Congratulations.
G-Max. Good shit, Colossal. Let's keep going, man. G-Max Flapple. It's derpy.
Why doesn't its evolutions have Dynamax forms? Like, why did the apple get it?
Yeah, you know, I was thinking that too. Like, Flapple isn't the final Evo, right? No, it is.
No.
It is.
What?
Flapple is, so, like, you have the apple guy, and then...
Is it the fat one or the winged one?
It's both. They both G-Max into this.
What? They both go back to its original form?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's just, like, I love that his mouth's open. He's coming out of this apple.
Yeah, it's not good. I'm like, I see like the apple being like eaten, and it's like core is kind of the neck, and like maybe it's like caramelized.
It's definitely caramelized. It's been slowly baked.
Oh,
with cinnamon
I don't like
included.
This. I don't like this. It actually upsets me a little bit.
That's
I'm
so
not
funny.
A big fan.
That's so funny because I'm like, and I've been like negative Nancy this whole time, like because you've been so positive. I'm like, I gotta counteract that with just saying everything's cheeks. But I was like, oh, maybe rotten the PC.
Oh wow.
But you know, let it no, buddy. Tap into that untapped anger that you have, and tell me everything you hate about this guy right now, buddy. Come on.
It's not good. Is the tail supposed to be a worm in it?
Oh, interesting.
Maybe trash because I like caramel, but I don't.
Well,
I mean, I don't know why you take something cooler and make it worse.
Yeah, they could have done a lot with this, and we do have to think about where we're coming from. We're coming from the flying. You're literally, this is the opposite of what you're doing because you have an opened up apple.
This is straight cheeks, dude.
It is. You know, I wanted to say rotten the PC originally, but now that I think about it, all I was talking about, what I appreciate with G-Max is when they follow the natural progression, giving Machamp 6 arms. And in this case, they have, you know, a cut open apple and this other one who's a fully baked apple pie. And now, an apple pie is comprised of many apples, and now it's just one apple that's caramelized. It's getting smaller.
Hey, if the apple was like a Pokemon that had no evolutions, this would be rotten the PC.
I agree. I think we have to consider where it's coming from, and it's straight cheeks.
It's straight cheeks. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Wow,
Next.
this is the most straight cheeks we've ever had.
Yeah, bottom of straight cheeks. Firo. Hey, we had Firo.
But there weren't a lot of friends with Firo. I don't know if there was anyone with Firo.
Oh, the most we've had in straight cheeks. Well, it's only episode 2. It'll be interesting to look back after we do like 10 of them though and see that stuff. Okay, our straight cheeks is gonna get bigger because they cook Caparaja and they made him a thwomp. They made him into a thwomp with a trunk. Okay.
Oh my God!
What are you doing?
You're not kidding.
Excuse me, Game Freak. But what is this?
Dude, I've never seen this Pokemon from another angle. Like in the game, it's
from
trunk
forward.
is so big you can't see.
I think I just blew up my mic, and if I did, I'm really sorry if it's how hot it is. But this passionately upset me because I think Caparaja is pretty cool. The Gmax is such cheeks.
What did they do?
It's absolute cheeks.
Why would they do that though? Why would they make him a thwomp? Look at his.
They made him a thwomp. They made your boy a thwomp. I'm talking about the big tower. He's at the top of it waiting for Mario to smash 3 times on his back and then poop out a star. And then let's it go, you go on to the next room. What is this?
You can straight cheeks this. Why would you do that? I didn't even know about this. They massacred my poor boy.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Next.
Put him at the end, Steve. We're gonna organize him later.
All right, I'm sorry.
Here's a little sneak peek. We're gonna put this whole video out and do another.
Oh my God.
I know you don't like this one. I don't dislike this one very much.
Tell me why.
He kind of becomes a fortress, and Crawdon already is has a shell, high defense, and I feel like this one just makes him. He has Godzilla vibes for me here, like the bipedal now, even the thing under it looks like he's his own closed-in fortress. He's locked in. I think that I don't
honestly, I wanted to call him Cheeks, and maybe I'm just feeling the euphoria of taking Caparaja apart, but I don't like him at all. They made him round and gave him these stubby legs. To me, bipedal doesn't make sense at all. I think the Cheeks and Trash tiers have to be I would prefer this Pokemon if it were just the Pokemon. If it were just a bigger version of the Pokemon, and Dreadnought Gmaxed is menacing because he has this big chomping head. What is Dreadnought's most notable feature? His jaws, right? It's literally in his name. He'll gnaw on you, and all of a sudden you can't even see his jaw, right? They could have accentuated it more and made it terrifying bite, and they just didn't. You're right, he's a fortress and that's cool, but
see,
that's my opinion on this.
I don't think that he's Cheeks. I think that's a real mistake.
I want to call him Trash.
Oh wait, did I say Crawdon? What's his name?
Dreadnought.
Oh, my bad, everybody. I'm sorry.
I think he's Trash.
Yeah, his head isn't that hidden, dude, in the actual game. He leans forward and does blasts. But it's still, they're not accentuating his jaw. If I just looked at Dreadnought and I'm oh man, what's his Gmax gonna look like? His jaw is probably gonna be, his mouth is gonna eat up the whole stadium, you know? And they sort of did a whole 180 with that theme. I hear you. I really do. I don't even know if I'd say Trash. I don't think it's great, but I don't really think it's bad. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'd say maybe near the low end of Rotten the PC, but I'd feel bad. I do not think it's straight Cheeks. I really don't.
I probably, if I were doing this alone, would put him in Trash. Because I would never want to see this when I could just be seeing a massive version of Dreadnought behind me.
Yeah.
And I think for that reason, Dreadnought is such a cool Pokemon. You know, he's one
I
of the
just wish his
stars
neck thing wasn't as I wish
Yeah.
his neck thing wasn't that big, honestly. That's disappointing. I could find you a trash, but I think it's rotten to PC.
Do you want to try to convince me up, or do you want to go rotten the PC?
I mean, because he's really not that bad, Steve. Like he's still got the shell, you know. He's still him, and he's up there. He's Godzilla now, you know. Like he's up, and he can like get some vantage points on his giant hydro pumps. Like
He is Godzilla. Maybe it's just I'm so fixed on my image of what Dreadnought is, and then when I see them do a 180
he's
on
the
what
PC, man. He can't be. He shouldn't be lower than that.
I'll put him at rotten the PC for you because I like you. But I'm going to talk to you about Kingler later, and
Oh wow.
maybe I should.
You want to move him up?
Maybe I shouldn't be talking about how I'm getting brownie points with you as I'm doing it, and should just. Keep it to
Oh,
myself.
dude.
Let's go next.
Buttering me up.
Grim Snarl. I know
Hey,
you
dude.
like this guy.
I think this one is sick. I saw when I was seeing releases of Galar Pokemon, and somewhere through the mix, because I wasn't trying to look at them, like Impidimp got
Yeah.
through, and I was like,
Who?
I was like, is the game glitched, or who like glitched in their trash Fakemon? And then when I realized it was actual legit, I was like, oh my god,
The
it
imp
is
Pokemon.
so bad.
Yeah, terrible.
And
I
then
really
its
wasn't happy.
evolution is just like an angsty one, and I was like, oh, this thing's gross. Like I can see the grease on it. Like, you know, it's a greasy Pokemon. And then when it Dynamaxes, it finds its glory. I'm talking team leader at least. I could maybe see this in S tier. It is like Obelisk the Tormentor from Yu-Gi-Oh! I see it as like a giant kind of Transformer style mech. It's grown, it's serious, it's daunting from its normal evolution. This thing is awesome.
I don't like it. It doesn't look like it's Pokemon to me. And I know that's part of the Gmax thing, is like going outside the boundaries of Pokemon. It's like this muscle fiber alien. It looks like a god.
Yeah.
And you know what I said, and I'm not an anime guy, but I said it reminds me of Attack on Titan, and it's just weird. I don't like the whole line. I wanted to put it in rotten the PC. It's just these like, it like turns into these fibers of
like
muscle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it does.
like, how's it balancing on those two wisps?
What? It's because it's strong. Muscle. It's ripped. Look at this thing. It's going to wreck your whole team. It's so strong.
You're telling me team member. You're telling me this is same par as Lapras, Sanduscorch, Kingler, Butterfree, Tornado.
You just said team leader.
I mean, yeah. You're telling me it's team leader. It's team leader. At least maybe S tier. I guess I just disagree with you on this.
That's okay.
It's very, and I'm not a huge anime reader. It's very like anime to me, like ending boss in an anime, which is just maybe something that's foreign to me, but I look at it and I'm like, it's like, it rubs me the wrong way in a lot of ways.
And you would still say rotten the PC? Or would you honestly say lower than that because you don't like it?
I would probably say rotten the PC because I can appreciate it, this gargantuan, just like better than you, higher than life, reaching down at you to just destroy you in one fell swoop. Like, I can appreciate its posture and everything about the aura it's putting off. I just think in execution, the muscle fiber thing is weird to me, and I kind of can't get over it. I don't think it's going to be in rotten the PC because
Yeah, but
you have a strong
I
opinion about it.
I just think it's so much cooler than what it normally is. I think it's like a G-Max that just elevated the Pokemon. Straight up. I could probably meet you a team member. I'd have a hard time going lower than that because I really do think this is a team leader level Pokemon.
We can put it at... I'm happy at team member.
Okay.
But you were saying maybe Sapphire tier, right? Like if this is one of your favorites and it's just getting team member.
Well, I'm going, I just think it's literally exactly what we were saying about with Alcremie. It's just like taking something and elevating it.
They're going in, to me, it's going in different directions. Alcremie makes more sense to me.
Yeah, okay.
It would be tough for me to be okay with team leader.
Okay, I'm okay with team member.
Okay. This currently is our list of all of the released Pokemon that are in the game. Everything from here on out is going to be stuff that's been announced, maybe for a while, maybe for a few days, that will be with us soon, so we're not going to have that transparent background. Do you want to change anything about this right now?
I don't think we should until we get everything in there.
Okay, next. Toxtricity has a Gigantamax that has not been announced on the game yet. This is so cool. I love Toxtricity. It's like a demon. It's like he got possessed by the gods of rock and roll and is ready to just blow your eardrums out of your head.
God. He's got stars in his eyes.
He's got stars in his eyes. He's a jukebox hero. His tail turns into an antenna. And one thing that I love about this that I think they're gonna have some narrative reason, hopefully, for this guy being available in the game. If you remember when you're going through those fields, there's a drawing of a Pokemon on one of the fields, or like it's green grass.
You think
on
it's
a hill,
him?
And I think it's this Pokemon.
Whoa.
If you go back,
God, it
you
makes
see
sense
the
with
tail.
the tail.
Yeah, the tail looks just like it.
Whoa.
So that's really, really cool. I absolutely adore Toxtricity. I love it getting darker and just have these lights of purple around it. Again, probably when these get released into the game and we have a more, we can see the model from multiple angles, we can say something for real. But if now we're talking about just like what it could be and what we think, this to me is like Sapphire tier.
Wow. I think that it's really, really cool. I might like Toxicity better.
Okay. Toxtricity is very, very cool.
I was probably going to say like maybe team leader, team member, because he's cool.
I'm okay meeting you at team leader.
Okay.
I like, in my head, I just think I'm like, oh man, this elevates Toxtricity. It has that idea of like sound waves with the emitters as its tail. I think this G-Max is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Team leader it is. So let's keep it moving. So that's the only one that was released before the Nintendo Direct, and now everything moving forward is gonna be the Nintendo Direct Pokemon that were released a few days ago.
Very cool.
First is Cinderace. One theme that I'm seeing with these Pokemon is they're actually not changing the model of the Pokemon too much, and they have some other elemental thing that's making them like the G-Max form. It just has longer ears. Of the starters, this is my least favorite.
Oh my god, but it's on its own sun.
It's on a sun.
And I think it does. Are those eyes? Like I'm looking on the bottom left one too.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just.
I think it's like
sick.
And what's cool, and where I think it's going, is its move is kicking a ball at you. So their G-Max move is literally going to be kicking this massive thing at you, I believe.
Wow, I think this is cool.
It definitely thematically makes sense with the like soccer player, move. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I
was
would put
gonna
it
say-
in like team member.
Okay.
Do you want to say anything more? I pretty much just.
I was
spoke
probably
on
gonna say
it.
team leader, but like it's not like a massive change. I'm
Yeah.
ready to fight for Sobbles because Sobbles is sick.
Yes. I am excited to get there as well. Let's see what we got next. Gigantamax Blastoise. So Blastoise and Venusaur got some love after Charizard had it alone. He's an armory. He's citadel.
What? Stop messing with his cannons. Like, just let the man have his cannons. I don't like this one very much.
Yeah, because he has. I think when you have two huge cannons coming off both shoulder, and then you turn it into a bunch of little cannons, at least like ratio wise, I don't like him very much either.
He's got like universal coverage. Like like he could really go into his shell and just rain hell from all directions.
He could do that as
Even
as
if he's
Blastoise.
spinning. Wow, I'm not a big fan of this one.
Neither am I.
But I don't think it's like trash. But I'd probably say rotten the PC.
I would say round the PC as well.
All right, I'm sorry, Blastoise.
I think if I have a G, but yeah, like getting away from, it's almost like I'm sorry. It's like I'm sorry, Blastoise, but also I respect you, Blastoise, right? Because I respect Blastoise. He's awesome, and this I don't think lives up to how great Blastoise is. And that like again, I go back for these guys who are getting a Gmax and a Mega Evolution. I go back to the Mega. The Mega was pretty sick. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Venusaur.
What happened, buddy?
This is
Power-
cheap.
Flower grew too big.
I'm stuck.
Oh,
my
buddy,
flower.
let me help you out of there. Come on, Venusaur, stop screwing around.
I really and like he can't even see. He can barely see through the stuff. Maybe if it has some cool animations where it like flows in the wind, but I don't like this.
I'd probably say trash. I don't know if this is cheeks.
Well, what's redeeming about it?
It's Venusaur.
See, yeah, Venusaur's awesome. I love Venusaur.
Yeah, this is probably cheeks.
It's cheeks, man. I love Venusaur. You know that.
Yeah, but it just grew, Like, the flower just grew.
Dude, it could have had a tropical forest on its back.
I don't really like it.
I really don't like it either. And I say it's cheeks.
I'm sorry, Venusaur. I think you're cheeks. Ugh.
No, you're not cheeks, Venusaur. Your Gmax is cheeks.
It's just we're putting it in the same thing as Thwomp.
But don't yeah, we are, because I also just think it's a bad, like, I mean, do you disagree?
No, it's really bad.
Yeah, it's
just
really
not
bad.
good.
It doesn't have redeeming qualities. Let's get into some Pokemon that have redeeming qualities.
I wonder what you're talking about.
Inteleon.
Oh, yo, dude, honestly, this one's dope.
This one is so cool. It has its snipe move. Now it's up on a perch.
Yeah, I think this is S tier, honestly.
I agree. And if you look,
it's its tail too, dude. It's its tail that grows. So it's not like it's like normal Inteleon, but its tail grows so big it creates its own sniper perch.
Dude, let's go.
I'm just saying, this one is just like it's perfect.
It really is. And if you look, I'm just going to use my mouse cursor for a second. You could look how it's like dismounting over here in the concept art on the right. So I'm really excited to see what type of animations they do with that thing.
It's sick.
Yeah, S tier. I agree. Finally, we have Rillaboom.
Last but not least. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, he gets a full drum set. He's like a 4-armed drummer now. It's cool. It is cool, and it is the progression. Honestly, when I saw original Rillaboom, which we both had, I was kind of like, well, its thing doesn't really look like a drum, and it's like the drum Pokemon, but it's hitting this like piece of wood that's forward. So I appreciate that this is more, him hitting drums. What are your thoughts?
Its hair has different drumsticks, which is cool.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. It's not 4-armed. That's its hair.
This is 6-armed, Steven.
Hey.
Honestly, if you turned to me and you said just like S tier right off the bat, like I couldn't combat you. It's just like just taking in something and a theme and just elevating it in all ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably still say team leader though.
I honestly was gonna say team member. This is the blurriest picture that I have, and I'm excited to see its animations and stuff. You know what? Yeah, I could say team leader. I'll say I have high hopes for it. I like Rillaboom, and this is a cool direction that they're going with it. Okay, all right, Mac. So we've done it. All the Gmaxes are on the board, including the new ones, and
that we know of.
This will probably be a board that gets updated through the years, but let's just go through and make sure we're comfortable with all of this. So I think as far as Sapphire tier goes, Alcremie, Colossal, and Inteleon are firmly there.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have to talk about that anymore. For me personally, Kingler and Centiskorch are prime candidates to both be in Sapphire tier. I adore them. Otherwise, I'm pretty confident about the team leader tier. What are your thoughts?
I think the team leader is fine. I wouldn't bump anyone to S tier besides Kingler and Centiskorch. Like I wouldn't consider it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I might consider the drum starter. Like even though I don't love it, I don't love it. So
I don't love it, and I honestly was saying I don't like it as much as Toxtricity. I would want to bring it down to team member. I think it's the same area. I think Cinderace is very cool, and I think I like Rillaboom and Cinderace about the same.
Yeah, all right. So maybe Kingler, maybe I could move him to Sapphire. He doesn't bring me as much joy as the other three do.
Okay.
But you could argue me there. And Centiskorch, he's cool too. I don't know if he's one like the coolest. I don't know if he's S tier, but he's another one like you could probably convince me of.
Centiskorch for me is my favorite Gmax. So and it could be with the emo guy that he's your favorite Gmax and he's also not in Sapphire tier. But Centiskorch for me he's brighter and he's menacing and he's this creepy crawly bug. And I think one thing about bugs is they always a bug is scary when it's a bug. If there's a spider rolling on your finger, it's scary. If you think about a bug being the size of a house all of a sudden, that's terrifying. And
yeah, you could put this
him
in S tier.
Turning into these solar panels, I think he's just awesome.
It's a good Dynamax. It's a good Dynamax, yeah.
Okay, cool. And Kingler, I'm less passionate about Kingler.
Yeah, can Kingler stay at top of team leader?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right.
The next thing I want to talk about is Rillaboom. I think could go down. I like him just as much as Cinderace, and I would be totally happy having him as a team member.
I don't know if I feel good about that because he's a complete elevation. Like, there's nothing negative. I just don't think I love the base Pokemon that much.
Okay.
I just think that this is just elevated on all fronts.
You know what? You're right. Cinderace, he's just standing on a ball, a very cool ball, but this, you're right. It's just elevating it to a full drum kit.
Yeah, I don't think we can drop this below team leader.
Okay. Let's go down to team member.
Okay, team member.
Snorlax, Orbeetle, Corviknight, Grimmsnarl, and Cinderace.
I think Grimmsnarl deserves more, but I think team member is okay. I'm okay with team member. Rotten the PC.
If you were doing this alone, would Grimmsnarl be S Sapphire tier?
Would he be a Sapphire tier? He would, honestly, I'd have to think about it. Like, it would be something I'd consider. He's okay at team member though, dude. Like, if he's gonna be really low for you and he might be kind of high for me, team member's a solid, it's a good position.
He would be rotten the PC for me. So it's just one above where I would be.
I probably would put him at like I don't know if I'd put him I don't know.
I could appreciate that he's towering and menacing, you know? Like,
let me just look him up again. Like it's just like he was one of the first Dynamaxes I saw that was like, "Oh my god."
yeah.
He's a monster. And I don't like normal Grimmsnarl. Like I think he's gross. and then I think this thing is just like, it's just like Obelisk the Tormentor.
See, yeah, I guess when I looked at him, I didn't have any different feelings than normal Grimmsnarl. I was just like,
we're all gonna die. This thing is unbelievable. But team member's a good spot to be. I'll fight for him in the nitpicking episode.
Okay, fair enough. Rot in the PC. This goes back to me, trash and below is, would you rather have just the normal Pokemon as a Dynamax, as big? Would you rather just have the normal Pokemon rather than the Gigantamax? And that, for me, I would probably rather have normal Gengar and normal Dreadnought. We spoke ad nauseum about Dreadnought, and I'm okay with it staying at Rot in the PC. It does have redeeming qualities. I don't like the Gengar.
You could drop Gengar
to trash.
Yeah, you could do it. I mean, I think it's like he is a calamity, and I like him Rot in the PC, but he's Rot in the PC. So like him moving up or down one doesn't really offend me. Like 2 away from what I think it is when I'd fight for it. But
okay,
you could get bumped to trash. That's okay. Sorry.
Do you want to talk about Charizard being in trash?
I think that Charizard's Rot in the PC status. I really like. I don't love him, but I wouldn't throw this away. And I don't think Rot in the PC is like if I was Dynamaxing a normal Charizard, or I could Dynamax something to get this compared to normal Charizard, I'd still take this. Like I still think this is like, it's cool and it's like a cool form.
Yeah.
It's just not awesome.
Yeah. I think another thing though, and this might be like we already dug our own graves, but I went off about this, and you know, we made a pretty bold claim that it's trash. And I don't think there's going back now that I think about it.
Okay.
Like if you watch this video and then you get to this point and you're like, "Oh," and then they just bumped it up. That might be,
well, I mean, that's, this is the time for it. But
yeah, you're
right. I don't think it's trash, but I'll ride this ship with you. I'll do it.
Let's go. Yeah, he doesn't have wings.
You
the
just
only
wanna be
redeeming
mean,
quality.
but
No,
you don't like him. I'm just kidding.
I truly don't. I truly don't like him. Like, I really like Charizard, and I think it disgraces Charizard. We have
Cheeks
a lot.
isn't moving.
We have a lot in straight Cheeks, and I agree. We got the Skyscraper, Eevee, Long Meowth, Thwomp with a nose, and Venusaur.
I could probably move Skyscraper to trash, honestly. Like personally.
Yeah, I stand by what I said about it just kind of being a little lazy.
I don't think that there's nothing redeemable about it. Like the Skyscraper, it's daunting. Like it's big, it's steel type. It makes sense. I don't think it belongs in the straight Cheeks, but if it stayed in straight Cheeks, I wouldn't lose sleep.
I'll move it up.
Wow, lowest trash tier?
Yeah, lowest trash tier. Like,
okay. We'll talk about moving it within the tiers in the next one.
Yeah. I think that's okay. I do, like, I really, I can appreciate, like, if you look at its feet, it has those, like, stability little, like, beams coming out of it that makes it, like, super grounded. Like, that's a cool detail. I'm just not crazy about it, and I think I'm totally happy with it in straight Cheeks. I don't even know if it would be top of straight Cheeks for me, but that's for another video. Okay. It's trash. Here's our decisive list. This is the law the lay of the land. Until we do Gmax again, this is it. These are the Gmax Pokemon ranked.
Until we actually go through each tier and nitpick at who we're going to rank really like the lowest in Straight Cheeks, the highest. We're going to go through each tier and we're going to nitpick each one in PokeTier nitpicking, which is going to be a small extra video after a tier video.
And I'll have it linked at the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Mac, hit us with that classic sign off you always do.